Merry Christmas! How's everybody doing? You probably sat on the settee full of dinner and booze with far too much family around you causing far too much noise. And if you are, then you need to appreciate that, because in my experience, the amount of people sat around your dinner table for Christmas gets less each year. And so it's important that you remember, that although you might be suffering Uncle Knobhead and Auntie smokes too much, the one day they won't be there. So you might think great, but then again you might be thinking yeah, it's true actually, and it is true. The more Christmases you have, the less people will be around your table. It's the thing. Hello, Merry Christmas. We're all gonna die. This is a bit warm. This is my those that know. Those that know. So thank you ever so much to my mate Steve and his missus Sheree who bought me this last year. Actually, this is now my official Christmas jumper. And the only people that know. And if you don't know, you know a friend of mine. It is a bit of a fan thing. It's not the actual one he wore in the film, because that's got a big Indian here. But we all know what this is. And while we're talking about Christmas, and again, another bit of... Because, Christmas can be a sad time as well. I'm sorry, I'm not going to bring your day down. Christmas can be a bit of a sad time. You start to think about the people that aren't there anymore. Think about the people that have come and gone and all the rest of it. And I did tell this story, actually, about this particular tradition that I've got. Years ago, it was on not on my channel either, it was on Woodland's channel. That I used to do. I used to do a show called Two Fat Bastards, and they did a Christmas episode. I remember they did a Christmas edition, and they used to have all kind of people on and stuff as well. They had like guests on and things like that. And this one year they asked for people to send them to video a Christmas message and give a Christmas message. And this was mine, and I don't think a lot of you may have seen this. A lot of you might not have, but and I don't want you to be sad about this. It's a tradition that I have now, because my granddad died on Christmas Day. Christmas morning must be 30 years ago now. Must be 30 years ago. How old would that be? Yeah, about 25. Maybe probably maybe 28, 29, 30 years ago, something like that. He died very suddenly on the Christmas morning. My granddad was a very fit, healthy character. Had been all his life. He was a sergeant major in the paratroop regiment in the Second World War. He'd been a master plasterer all his life, and he'd worked for the council towards the end of his career, and eventually retired into the little village where I grew up. And he loved his garden. My granddad loved his gardening. And that's how I remember him, really, in his garden. But the one thing we used to have was a big Christmas party. So my family's not that big, but it all used to come together on a Christmas Day night. We used to have a party at my granddad's with my grandma, and all the family used to come, all the uncles, all the aunties, all the cousins, all the sisters and brothers and everybody. And we used to have a really good time, and that party stopped that Christmas. We still had the party, but obviously it was a very sombre affair, and nobody really wanted to be there. He died that morning. Very sudden, as I say, literally gone to the shops for a loaf of bread and collapsed. Massive aneurysm, not a heart attack, but an aneurysm. And passed away Christmas morning. And although it was a big shock to everybody, and Christmas has never been the same since, the one thing I remember is that he loved Christmas. So I always try and keep it myself if I can, because I could very easily, hate it. And it is a time to reflect, and I do miss him at Christmas, and I think about him. But I have this tradition, and this is what we're going to do. And this year, I'm going to share it with you guys. So what I tend to do is, I get one of these very ugly tumblers. Now, these are incredibly important because these were gifted to me by my grandma, who survived my granddad by a good 20 plus years. She was around a long time after he passed. Now, this is part of a set of tumblers that came with a crystal decanter. It is crystal. And this was my granddad's retirement gift from when he left the council. He'd got like, I think there's 4 or 6 of these, I think it might be 4, and a really ugly crystal decanter for whiskey. And my granddad wasn't a whiskey drinker, he was a rum drinker, so I put him down as the main inspiration for my rum addiction that I've got now. But every year what I do is I take one of his tumblers, and I remember him, and I have a nice single malt Scotch whiskey. Now over the years, and I only have it at Christmas whiskey, that's the only time I have it. And I don't like to get poorly on it because, you know, once you've been poorly on something, you can't drink it ever again. And whiskey's a very definite flavour. I tend to like the peaty ones I've learnt over the years. And this is something, if you want to get into drinking whiskey, here we are, kids. If you want to get into drinking whiskey like your Uncle Darren, do this. So over the years, I've bought bottles of single malt. They're not cheap for the proper ones anyway. And the problem with that is if you buy a bottle, you've got a full bottle then. For the rest of Christmas, and you're stuck with it. You've got to drink it or you give it away, don't you? So what I decided to do one year, and this is kind of a tradition now, and what it does is it enables you to sample lots of different types of whiskies without spending a fortune. Now this particular one came from, there's a little shop out in the Dales, or out in a place called Bakewell near us, and it's a lovely little village. Has a little stream in it, and it's got quite a busy little town. It's almost like a miniature market town, really, Bakewell. And there's a shop there called the Wee Dram, which is a Scottish term, and a dram is a measure of whiskey. And they sell all the different whiskies from all the different distilleries in the country. I like a Scotch whiskey, although they do have, I noticed, a Welsh whiskey in there, which I've never had before, and some, you know, some Irish whiskies and stuff like that. But what they tend to have in there is all the little sets that you would buy from the distillery shop if you went to the shop. They tend to have things like this. Now this is Glen Scotia, this one, which I've not tried before. And as you can see, there are 3 different types of whiskies in here. So what they tend to do is these distilleries, if they have really old stuff, so we've got a 15-year-old one in here. We have a double cask, which is the one on the end here. Is it the Victoria? No, that's the other. The double cask is here. So what that means is it's been aged twice, and they tend to go into sherry casks to age a whiskey. They put them into sherry casks. Some use different types of casks, and that's just a big barrel, you know. And then we've got a Victoriana on the end, which says it's just a classic Campbelltown malt. So these are from Campbelltown, single malt Scotch whiskies. And as I say, Glen Scotia, I've not tried these. I've had Auchentoshan last year, which I tried to get again this year, but they didn't have any of. And lots of ones from all over the place, from the Isle of Skye. You know, there's lots of places. And when I go, I tend to get a couple of these. Instead of getting one bottle of Scotch, which usually costs between 35, 40 quid, something like that, I buy a couple of these sets. These are about 20 quid, 22. I think this was 25 actually, this one. But they give you 3 different tastes. The double cask, that's going to be really nice, I have a feeling, so I'm going to try that one with you. And this is what I do. I sort of get a little single malt Scotch, and I use one of my granddad's tumblers, and I remember him, you know, and I toast him. He was a great guy, my granddad. He was a real joker, always tormenting you, always trying to trick you, and little jokes he used to pull on us as kids and stuff like that. So yeah, we've got a double cask. It's rich and spicy, it says. We'll be the judge of that. Hopefully your Christmas is going well. As I say, I do have reason not to like it, but I keep it alive. I keep it alive, and I think it's important that we do that, you know. We have Christmas dinner at my parents', and I chip in and I cook some of it. They're in their 80s now, but my mum still insists on doing a little bit herself, so she cooks one of the meats. I cook the turkey and the potatoes and the heavy stuff, and she just does one of the meats and the veg and the rest of it. And yeah, it's a day that my mum would rather get over with. I think it's, you know, it's the day her dad died. She'd rather see the back of it. But as I say, I try and keep it. That's so much for the ambient background on YouTube. We've got 60 seconds before we can skip it. My little ambient background there. Let's just have a little try of this one. This is the double cask. Yeah, it smells really rich. Smells like a really nice toffee. Ooh, yeah. Nice and peaty, nice and smoky. I like them like that. Got that burn going straight away at the back of the throat there, down onto the chest. Now you mustn't put water in this. Single malt whiskey should be sipped like a fine liqueur and enjoyed. I'll only have a couple of these. I'll probably save the 15 year for New Year's Eve. I'll save that one. Got a colour on that one, lovely and amber. Welcome to my retro video game channel where we sit about drinking single malt scotch. Ooh, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody. Much love to everybody and everything. Everything in your life. Much love to it. It's been a tough year. We say this every year, don't we? It just seems to get tougher and tougher. My year's been, I wouldn't say it's been, work's been the main thing, and that's always the case in my life is work. The cats have brought joy to the house. They're here somewhere, one of them's behind the curtain there. They've brought joy back to the house. And the other thing I remember as well is that my first cat, TC, who some of you know, he passed away the week before Christmas as well, 2 years ago. And I've still got a candle burning for him downstairs. So again, that Christmas was written off. Everything bad that happens to our family happens at Christmas. We must be special because they do say, people that get taken at that time of the year are very special, you know. It just leaves it for the rest of us to deal with the aftermath, doesn't it? So here's to TC as well. Cheers, kiddo. While we have a think and a remember. And I don't know what your traditions are. You may have a similar tradition that you do, but this is a bit of a quiet moment for me where I sum things up. Slow right down. Slow down. You're all moving way too fast. You know that, don't you? Slow down. Slow down. Get a drink. Have a drink with Daz. Come on. Have a drink next to the fire. We'll just sit back in front of the fireplace and have a nice drink together. How was your year? You all right? Nice. Very nice that, actually. I'm going to smash that down and go for the other one in a minute. Yeah. It's medicinal as well. I woke up with itchy throat this morning. I've had that week where you walk around the office and every time you walk past someone they go, like, yeah, thank you for that. Thanks. That's just what I need is a cold just before Christmas. Cheers. They're all coughing at me because I went on holiday as well. So I'm back off my holiday. We went to Florida again this year, and specifically to go to Epic Universe, where there is a Super Nintendo world, and it was awesome in there. I may do a video on that. Certainly the pickups and stuff I got from there. We'll talk about that in another video maybe. But yeah, that was my holiday this year, and we didn't go until nearly the end of November, so it was nice to get some winter sun. It was much needed, and it was great in there. If you're, I've been talking to Cybersnake7 Jay about it, and if you're a Nintendo fan at all, you need to get to one of these Universal Nintendo parks because wow, it was fucking amazing. It really was great. Everything in there was, you're basically Mario sized as you go in. So you're basically in Super Mario World. That's what it is. It really is that good. If you like gaming at all, you'll love it. We actually liked it more than we thought we would, because gaming for me is something separate to the movies and stuff that I'm into. And we tend to go out there for the theme parks, for the movies and stuff. But yeah, Super Nintendo Land at Epic Universe in Orlando. Wow, if you've got the means to go at all, go. You'll love it. It's fucking insanely good. Anyway, so that was my holiday. So back off that. In the background, sort of things. This is the last pickup that I've got here that I never showed you from when I started to sort of recollect things. Things I've moved on a little bit with Nintendo, and we'll get into that into the new year. We've got a new Focus. Yeah, we've got a new Blur. I think I'm going to call my Focus as the Blur. We've got a new Blur going on. Because, yeah, oh wow, we've been here before. I do like that movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. Bit of a Christmas vibe that as well going on in there, I think. But yeah, my retro gaming tends to be like that. It's the same thing again and again, isn't it? You know, it is literally, it is literally insanity. You know, the fact that we do this again and again and again. Well, I do anyway. But anyway, I digress. I'm digressing. So here I have something that I have had in the past, but not this model. And it's something that I've wanted for, I was adding it up today, and it is a good 33 years that I've wanted one of these. 33 years. I don't know if when you were a kid, your mum and dad had the wherewithal, but mine didn't. They were pretty skint, bless them. They did the best they could, and I got what they could afford, which tended not to be what I actually wanted. But, you know, thinking on, it would be very selfish for me to think, well, they never got me what I wanted and blah, 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 and boo-hoo, I mean, how fucking, you know, entitled is that? So I got what they could afford, which just means that in later life, you know, I've had to buy it for myself, and that's what I do, and that's why I do this shit, I'm sure. Because I was deprived. I was a deprived child. Look at me. Look at me now. Look deprived, don't I? Merry Christmas, Grandad. That was really nice. I enjoyed that. I think I'm going to enjoy that next one in a minute. So, yeah, coveted this. Absolutely coveted it. And it was way back in the 8-bit micro days at school. And everybody had a Spectrum. Just about everybody I know at school had a ZX Spectrum, and they all used to swap tapes and stuff, you know, and have a great time. And I didn't have a ZX Spectrum. One of my mates had a Commodore 64. This is Ivan, who lived on the same street as me. He lived a couple of doors up, same year. He weren't in my classes because Ivan was really clever. He was a really, really clever guy, and actually went off to work for Gremlin Graphics, if you can remember that. Yeah, in Sheffield, and I don't know where he is now. Hello, Ivan, if you're watching this by some weird stroke of luck and you found me here. Hello, how you doing? And I think he moved to Scotland, eventually. I think he moved to Scotland. And no doubt got a family up there and is living quite happily, hopefully. But Ivan had a Commodore 64. And he used to program it in machine code and create his own games. He was really, really good, really clever guy. And obviously he had games as well. So my first sort of experience of home gaming was Ivan and his Commodore 64. And it blew me away when I was, you know, like 13. Absolutely blew me away. Absolutely wanted one. Leaving the catalogue open, you know, on the Commodore page and circling things and, you know, leaving it strategically on the kitchen table for him to find. Now, unfortunately, they didn't have the money for that. But the system that was on the way out was the VIC-20. So that's what I got for that Christmas. I got a VIC-20. And I have to say, although it was kind of the poor option, the poor man's option, there were some half decent games in it. I can remember having a version of Jetpack on it. I think it was Lunar Jetman, or it wasn't Jetpack. It wasn't called Jetpack, but it was Jetpack, if you know what I mean. And it was a really good version. I can remember that. What else? There was a couple of Jeff Minter games as well. Metagalactic Llamas at the Edge of Time was one that I had for it. I remember that. So there was a Llamasoft game for it. And there'd be other games as well that were kind of being released, you know, alongside the Commodore 64 as well, but nothing like what we've got here. And it wasn't until 1988, I would think, 87, 88, in the Amiga times, that I actually got a Commodore 64C that I had. That was my first Commodore 64. But I always coveted this, and it is the Bread Bin Commodore 64, and I think this is actually, I've done really well with this. Now it did come boxed. It's all boxed, got the polys and everything with it. That's all up in the loft now because I ain't got the room to have everything out. So I keep this here in this drawer, and I set it up here, and we run it through the CRT, and it's really nice condition. It's absolutely grey on grey. This one. It's sort of, it's not the brown. It's kind of the next version, I think, which is like the grey. But there's no discoloration on it at all. It's hardly been used, this, and I put it down to this, in my head anyway, what it came with is the reason why it's so pristine. I mean, it's not a mark on it. It's a really, really nice C64, this, and I owe it to myself to keep this now. It's quite weighty, actually, this. The proper keys and everything on it. I mean, it's a proper computer. You know, this is what you wanted. Keep your rubber keys. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of love for the Spectrum, but this in my eyes was better. The graphics, the sound chip is phenomenal. The sound that comes out of these things, and still being manipulated and used to this day, the SID chips, and emulated and used to create chip tunes. But yeah, that was a system of my choice anyway. I mean, you might have stood on the other side of the playground and argued with me, but I coveted that. I never had one. I never got one. So I bought myself that for Christmas. Merry Christmas, Darren! Finally got a bread bin, Commodore 64, and it's an icon. That is, to me, that is iconic. That is the first home gaming system that I can remember really wanting. Not that I owned, as I say, I owned a VIC-20. And I've seen price of VIC-20s. It might be nice to have a VIC-20 at the side of that. I was thinking about putting some shelves up, although I've had to put another cat post here to keep Eddie off the CRT, because he keeps jumping on the CRT. I moved my games up here. I've kind of put all my games up, and he was jumping on the CRT to get onto the top of there. I've put like a blanket for him to lay on. And so I thought I'll put that there, and he can scurry up that then and onto the top of it, and that's what he's been doing. So every time he jumped down onto the top of the CRT, I could just envision the tube inside going bang, you know, because he's 5 kilo, that cat now. It's a great weight. Anyway, so yeah, I was thinking about putting these on a shelf somewhere, maybe here, or I don't know. But then I kind of thought, no, to keep it clean, I'll just put it away when I'm not using it, you know, and keep it nice. As I say, it came with the box and everything with it. It had a couple of QuickShot joysticks, boxed again, all minty, all boxed up. The data set is really good as well, boxed. So I don't think this has had much use at all, and the reason I think that is because of what it came with. So we got this this Vicsoft book. If you remember Vicsoft, So it came with this, and this is like basically it shows you the games. We've got cartridges in here, and some of the games. It talks about business software that you can get and all that sort of stuff. So bear in mind, you know, the Commodore 64 was released as a, you know, as a home system that did everything really. You could do word processing on it. You could do you could do your tax return on it if you wanted. In fact, that there from that QuickShot is one of the ones it came with, boxed with it. So I think they got this and then they went through it, looked for peripherals and stuff like that, and yeah, is that a mouse? Analog joystick. Yeah, so yeah, it comes with all, and this is nice to have as well. Like I say, this is a throwback in the day. Look, you've got an order form from Vicsoft. Look, the Tech Visa. Easy Spell, Stellar Wars. Yeah, you can even buy a, look at that, printers, dot matrix printers. Did anybody have one of them? A dot matrix printer. Yeah, I think I had something like that for VIC-20. I had like a case, like a briefcase sort of thing that you could sit it in and carry it around with you. Yeah. Wow. If I'd have got this for Christmas, I would have had a boner the size of your drain pipe. So it came with that. Obviously the user manual, which again has not seen many thumbs. And you can program it, you can make it do stuff. You know, this is back when it was a, you know, it was a real thing. It was back in the day. It was a real thing. This was your journey, and you know, we just played Pac-Man. For some reason, I've still got the manual for the operating manual for the data set that come with it. That's there. But it also came with one cartridge, and this is the Music Composer cartridge that it came with. Now, I do believe that this may have had a keyboard with it that clips onto the front of the keys. I do believe that might be the case. I mean, most of this stuff I'm going to sell off. I'm not going to keep it. Or if it's worth bugger all. I mean, look at the cartridge and the manuals all in there. Look. I don't know if it's worth bugger all. I might just keep it for nostalgic sake. You know, keep it as part of the set. But this is why I think it had very little use. I think this was bought for somebody as an aid for their education, because it's got chemistry with it, which is like in a big, like, I've never seen these before. I don't know what this is. It's not a game, it's like educational software. But there's a couple of tapes in there. I'm not sure if it had 3 tapes or if there were a couple of tapes. There's even a receipt. And it's a GCE O-level chemistry course. Jesus. It's from Comet, and this was £7.90 in total. CBM chemistry class from Comet in What year is it? We've got a date. We've got to have a date on here, haven't we? Surely, surely. Come on, where's the date? Oh, come on. It's got to have a date on it, hasn't it?
This thing literally performs. It's made from aluminum or titanium.
Oh, there's no date on it.
Wait,
is it? See, look. 21st of the 1st. So this, I think this was someone's Christmas present, and this was bought in January. 21st of January, 1984. Says it down there in the bottom corner. So I was 14. No, I'll be 13. I wasn't 14 until August of that year. Wow. I love shit like that. So that's chemistry. It also came with like a Quizmaster thing. I think the dad was in Comet, you know. I'll get him a Commodore 64. Got chemistry. He can do his O-level chemistry on it. Oh, and this might be fun. It's Quizmaster. Again, in one of these big, you know, clamshell things. I've never seen these ever. But I went looking for, you know, educational stuff. Write and run your own quizzes to teach, revise, test and entertain. Ah, so he's thought, right, we'll get this. And it can be an aid to his revision or her revision. Again, we've got the manual. We've got both the cassettes. Again, I think that's just spare. I think it's probably just two. No receipt in there for that one. But we know that that was £7.90, that chemistry thing. This might have been bought at a different time. But yeah, it came with all that sort of stuff. And it had a handful of games as well. But they don't work. I've tried them. All the other games I've bought here and tried work. But yeah, that one, the games it came, I think there's Hover Bother, there's Flight Simulator, and something else, but they don't work. Hello, Eddie. Do you want to say hello? What's this up here? What's this? What's that? It says it's whiskies. Cats don't like whiskey. Come on, come and say hello to the people. Okay, look how big he's getting now. Look at this hefty lad. Hello. He's hefty. Oh yeah. So I want to get up there. Can I go up there? Come on. I'm going to put you there. He loves to scratch this. Oh, no, you're not like that. It's whiskey. You're not like that. No. I don't know, Dad. Might like that. In fact, let's have another one. Shall we crack the other one open? Hey, hello. So yeah, I think that was bought as like a, obviously, I think that was Christmas 1983 that was bought, which was the year that I desperately wanted it. Again, I like this system because it's got a bit of history. You know, it's obviously got some stuff with it, which gives it its date, and it dates the purchase. If I'm not going to sell any of this, I'm going to keep it. Right, we've got the classic Campbelltown malt, deep charred oak casks, elegant and rich. That could be me, that, couldn't it? Ooh, Christmas in a bottle. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. He's going, you won't not like that. You will not like the smell of alcohol. Yeah? What do you think? You'll not like that, Eddie. Let's have a test. Let's have a taste. Grab another dram. Grab another drink while we're pause for an interlude. Ooh, that's different again. That's much deeper. Yeah, very smoky. Very smoky, that one. Much deeper. You get a right dab on. So, that's what it came with. But, obviously I bought some stuff that I had back in the day. And this first one, I don't know what it is, but last time I had a Commodore 64, I went to buy this selection of games because they're basically the same stuff that I had when I bought it last time. I paid 50 quid for this last time. And this time I've paid sort of 24 quid for it. I can't believe it. And it works. It's a really nice copy. And it's Bruce Lee. You've got to play that. If you've got a Commodore 64, you've got to play Bruce Lee. Action, platformer, fantastic. Balls-horrific hard, which all these are. Any modern game, I ought to be like a fucking whiz at, because I grew up playing these, and you weren't supposed to win these. You weren't supposed to win. But yeah, it's tapes all in there nice. And Datasoft game, brilliant game. But the US Gold version, that's the one. I know there's a classical version which is in like a yellow case. But these you normally go for a lot of money. I don't know if I just dropped on or when I was collecting, it was a thing and people were just buying them up, so they were fetching a bit more. But yeah, I've literally paid half the price for that I did last time. Because this stuff's getting old, man. And this won't load from the front. But most games came with double-sided. So if I load this in from the B side, it loads, but it won't load in from the A side. But I can still play it. It works. Awesome. The next one is, again, one that I had back in the day. Love-hate a lot of people have with this, and I've still never beaten it. I've never got to Zool, but it is Ghostbusters, the video game. This has not got its little manual with it, but the one thing about this one is it hasn't split on here. The clamshells tend to split down here, the plastic, the aging of it. So again, I don't think this has had much use, but it's really crispy, really minty. It's probably the best version, the best copy, should I say, that I've ever owned. And yeah, never got to Zool, never beat the game. It can be done. I've seen videos. It's not like it can't be done. It can be done. But yeah, brilliant game. I think it uses the Commodore really well. I can still play it today. It's not aged that much in my eyes. I can still play it today. It's a good Commodore 64 game. Now, at that time, lots of people playing track and field, you know, in the arcades and at home as well on certain systems. But there were sort of track and field clones that came out. This using one of the athletic superstars of the time. And it's Daley Thompson's Decathlon. Huge game that I can remember that being out. And Ocean were very big as well. Ocean, Imagine, very big, as well as a few other developers down here, but very big for the Commodores and the Spectrums. But yeah, this is basically it's complete as well. It's really nice. Manual's really crispy. I've got Beanie sat behind you staring at me because she doesn't really know what's going on. But yeah, Daley Thompson's Decathlon. You see, this is my Christmas Day 1983. When was this? What year was this? Daley Thompson's Decathlon. Someone's screaming it at the screen now. It was 1983, Darren. Oh, we've got on the back as well. It's got Hunchback 2, Quasimodo's Revenge. Come on, let's have a year. Has it got a year on it anywhere? Oh, High Noon, TLL, Ocean TL, High Noon, and TLL. This is really crispy. That's never seen a thumb. It's a fucking time warp, this, but there's no date on that, which is 1984. Ocean Software 1984. So again, the year that the guy bought that will have been in a store somewhere in his local micro shop. Microfun was ours in Rotherham. Daley Thompson's Decathlon. Again, it's all the events. It's basically track and field, but yeah. Awesome. Now, I put this on the other day, and this is fucking unplayable. This was massive back in my day, a television programme. And if you're into motorcycles like I was, it was the only motorcycle programme on television, or the only television programme for kids with motorcycles in it anyway. And it was Kickstart. And I bought this on the Mastertronic collection because I intend to build a Mastertronic collection up. So we're going to go with Mastertronic games. They were the ones that I would have had back in the day. They were the budget range. I think there was a few, weren't there? There was Firebird, which was a gold and a silver collection, Firebird games, and there were Mastertronic. This is the 199 range, so I would have been all over that back in the day because I think my pocket money was about £1.50 and I had to buy a Beano as well out of that, so I'll probably have to save up 2 or 3 weeks to be able to buy a Commodore 64 game. Not that I ever did because I didn't have one. I had it. You're right, Beanie. You want to be in it as well, full family in the video, didn't you? Come on, Beanie. Come on. Eddie's here, look. When he scratches, he hates it when you scratch his post because he wants to scratch it himself. Don't scratch my post. Oof. Fucking twat. Wait. She's like lightning. You're a bully. But yeah, I put this on the other night and I can't stay on anything. You come off a ramp, you die. You go up a ramp too fast, you die. You come off the end of a ramp too fast, you die. I just can't get it. I can't do it. But I do remember it, and there is a sequel as well. Now this one, for the longest time, I was trying to find out what this game was. I didn't know what it was. And I can remember playing it. I remember playing it Sunday mornings, and it's kind of an isometric view. You're like a soldier, like a futuristic soldier, trying to get trying to infiltrate this like base. And it is Strike Force Cobra. And I did have that last time as well, and I was playing it, and I do intend to try and beat this. This is by Piranha Software, but it's the $1.99 range. Didn't cost me $1.99, it was a lot more than that. But yeah, I think they're the Spectrum screenshots as well inside there. I think they're Spectrum screenshots. But you're having to knock out like alarms, you're having to knock out cameras and stuff like that. There's a bit of stealth. You know, that may be the very first stealth game I ever played, you know, way before Metal Gear, way before anything like that was on modern systems. But yeah, quite an achievement, Very little memory. You've got to remember these things are tiny little bits of memory. You know, 64K was the Commodore 64. 64K. Your downloads now for your PS4 games are 15 gig. Download patches, whatever they are, on your first day, you know. But at least they work when you put them in. You know, Commodore 64 game, even brand new, you might have had to fiddle about just to get it to load. But you put your Sunday charts on in the background, start loading your games up. You might be lucky and play a game every 20 minutes. Lovely. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Been a tough year. Looking forward to next year. I've got some plans for next year. Big plans. We're gonna shake the fucking shit up next year, privately, personally. Not my marriage or anything like that. Don't worry about that. But something else. Yeah, we're gonna try and shake off. We're gonna try and shake off the cage we've created for ourselves. But more of that to come. Now these two, I always have to buy these back, and these were quite late on in the Commodore's life, but I just remember owning both of these for my C64C and being really blown away by this software house, and it's Thalamus. And there is a Thalamus collection. Jay will show you that. He's got the collection, but these two specifically I had and always have to buy back, and they're great games. The first one is a shooter, believe it or not, and it's Delta Armalite. Now there was Delta, and there's Delta Armalite, so it's a horizontal shooter. Awesome music, awesome graphics, balls hard to play, not too unforgiving. It's a muscle memory game. You've got to know where it's coming from before it gets to you. But to say the little memory this is running on, it's a stunning game. And the artwork on the actual, I can't see the glare, but hopefully that's coming through. The artwork on these are absolutely gorgeous and well sought after. And again, I paid a lot of money for this when I bought it, when I had it last. And this, I paid half of what I did last time. So, yay for me. So, anyway, it works. I loaded it up, played it straight away. Brilliant game, man. It's probably the shooter that I've played the most in my life, is this. And, yeah. Oh, always have to put it on. Power the Commodore up. It's got to be the first or the second game that I play. Brilliant game. Really good. As is this next one. But neither of these have I beaten. You know, you weren't supposed to be 8-bit micro games. You weren't supposed to beat them. You weren't supposed to win. Excuse me, you're spoiling the ambience. The ambience of our little video here. Can we fuck off? I should have had the remote reversed, and I could just skip past it. 2, 1, fireplace. There you go. Off you go. No, go. Thing with YouTubers, if you don't, I've never bought it. You know, I don't have the ad-free version of it, which I don't have for other things that I've streamed. You know, I don't have the ad-free version of Disney or what have I just gone for now? Paramount. I don't have the advert-free version. Because, you know, a couple of adverts, and it's like back in the day, and you're back in with your thing, you see, and we've got this fireplace. Oh, Merry Christmas. So, yeah, this next one is Hawkeye. Look at that fucking... Look at that artwork. Brilliant game. And it's a run and gun. Probably the very first run and gun I played. I need to get Kung Fu Master. I need to get some of the old arcade games that will have been ported across. I need to get Gyrus. I know there's a C64 version of Gyrus. As I say, need to get Kung Fu Master. That's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Probably the first side-scrolling beat-em-up I ever played in the arcades. Because back then it was just shooters. You know, it was easy to program shooters. I think that's why there were so many shooters. Galaxian, Galaga, Space Invaders, etc., etc. I may even look for some cartridges for the C64. I know not me, but my mate's brother, he was kind of late into it as well. He had a C64C and he had Navy SEALs on a cartridge. Remember that? But yeah, it may be that I'll look for some cartridge-based stuff at C64 as well as the tapes. But yeah. Hawkeye, I've never been off. I would almost finish the first level the other night, I'm pretty certain. But again, the music and what they could do with the little memory that they had. I don't know, somebody somewhere can tell me who Thalamus became. Did they just disappear into the ether, or did they become one of the major software houses? I don't know. I ought to have done some research into before I did this. By the Boys Without Brains. And yeah, such an awesome game. What do you think, Beanie? What do you think, Bean? Look. Eh? That's Hawkeye. So here we have the little girl. Little girl is going to be on the video. And you, she's so gentle. And you, little lady. Little lady cat. She's purring. Eh? She's lovely. I really love that they're both in the house. It's so nice to have them around. Go on then. We'll do the 15-year-old. Oh, come on. Fuck it. It's Christmas. Bollocks. So this one is 15 years old. 15 years old. That's been in a box. In a bottle. Rich and smooth. Classic Campbelltown malt. 15 years old. You can tell by the colour of it as well. It's gone a little bit more amber. Oh, sweet. That smells sweet. Let's have a wee dram. Let's have three wee drams. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So, are you looking forward to your pudding? What do you do with your leftovers? So we have this, well, Christmas Day. I've always done Christmas Day for other family. So for 18 years, I did Christmas dinner for my grandma and Deb's mum and dad. And that went down to just Deb's mum and dad. My nan passed first, and then that went down to just Deb's dad, and then he passed, and then so I basically started going back to my mother's, because I used to do that for this side of the family, if you know what I mean. So so now we do my mum, but Boxing Day is really mine and the wife's Christmas Day. So I like cold cuts meat. I'm not particularly bothered about the meat being warm on a Christmas dinner. I like pigs in blankets to be warm, nice big pile of crusty stuffing, sprouts, carrots. I make my gravy 2 weeks before time. So my gravy is already made and it's in the fridge and the freezer. And I've swapped with tradition this year, and I've gone with a different gravy because I did something mid-year and it was amazing, so I've done that. So I always used to get like basically a roast chicken dinner and mash it up and turn it into gravy. So you'd get like chicken wings, actually was the best to do it with. Chicken wings, all your stock vegetables, all your herbs and stuff, roast it, and then you take it out, put a load of stock in it, simmer it on the hob for hours, and gradually mash it until it turns into this roast dinner soup. And it is nice, but I like a nice slow cooked short rib is what I like. And I did some the other day. I did a short rib, but I used the short ribs in a ragu. I didn't use the gravy that it had created. So basically, the stock and the vegetables that I'd cooked the short ribs in, I just zipped it up with my food processing wand thing and put it in the fridge, and it turned into this dense stock that I had with a steak and some dinner and stuff that later on. But it was so savoury and nice. I thought that's going to be my Christmas gravy this year. So that's what I did 2 weeks ago. Did another short rib. We've got quite a big slow cooker, and I double slow cooked it. So I slow cooked 2 short ribs and the stock vegetables with a load of stock for 8 hours. I let it go cold, and I cooked it again for another 8 hours. Let it go cold. I took the meat out. We used that. I had it actually in a sourdough baguette. It just fell off the bones. It was just awesome with some onions. It was brilliant. But the stock I've kept, and that's the base for my gravy for Christmas, and it's going to be fabulous. So yeah, gravy's a big thing. So your Christmas dinner, if you have turkey's a bit bland. It is. So you've got to have killer gravy. This is why a lot of people have more than one meat, because turkey is too expensive and too bland for, how much it costs. So, yeah, and it's a bitch to cook, although, most people get a turkey crown. I'm no different. I'll get a turkey crown. And my mum does a leg of pork. That's what we have. But this gravy I've done is going to be like, awesome. Anyway, I'm digressed. Merry Christmas. Should we try this 15-year-old? I would took a dripper yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can taste the extra 3 years there on my tash. Oh, wow. That's like a fine cigar. Oh, wow. That is really good. That is really, really good. Merry Christmas. Yeah, nice. I hope you're enjoying this. You're probably tuned out by now, or I'm still on in the background waffling while. You've probably snuck away into your game room or wherever just to watch this while all the family are fighting over trifle and the leftover few last bits of Quality Street and stuff. I feel your pain. Join me. So the last 2 bits I want to show you here are no sort of surprise to anybody around the place. I've got the box for this one. Come on, Darren, you were totally unprepared, weren't you? That's totally fucking bullshit inside there. Oh dear. So I've just got the controller here, but I rate these. I just wanted to come on. For the longest time, I've kind of avoided buying these. I've bought another one on the strength of this one, and it's the 8-bit Do controllers. And this black smoke version will basically. It goes with my black smoked American Super Nintendo that I've got down here that I ain't shown you yet. So I've done a black case. I've done a black smoke case for my American SNES that I bought to replace my Super Famicom, which is now a thing, which I'll talk about in the new year. But these are awesome. So it's wireless, obviously. The D-pad's really good. The start and the select are really good. And the A, B, Y, Z and the shoulders are really nice as well. This is a very good controller for your SNES. You need it. They're really good. So on the strength of that, I think don't pay over 30 quid as well. I've seen them on AliExpress. I don't know if they're the same or whether they're probably made in China. So I don't know if you can trust that or not. I've pressed the button now, so it's trying to connect to my SNES. But yeah, I think as controllers go, you've got the classic feel, obviously, and everything's really responsive, and it's just not tethered. It's just so nice to have it free and fly. So on the strength of that, I bought another one, obviously for my Mega Drive. So it arrived today, which I'm happy to say. These were both from eBay. As I say, that one I paid $29.99 for that, and they're advertised up to 40 quid, $38.99, and I think AliExpress sell them for about 25 quid, something like that. And I would assume they're the same thing, but they come in the same box, and I bought this on the strength of that, and it's the Mega Drive version. And it works with the Mega Drive 1 and the Mega Drive 2. You've probably all already got these, and you're saying, Darren, why haven't you already got this anyway? You're wasting your life. It's even got a hang tab. I need to be able to get into this now, don't I? I'm going to cripple myself trying to get into it. Gloria, Hosanna in exchange. Quite traditional when it comes to. Ooh, it's like I've got a pull tab on it. Nice. Quite traditional when it comes to. Whoa, 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 whoa! Eddie's got zoomies. And when you've got 5 kilos zooming around, people get injured. Things get broken. Yeah, quite traditional with this sort of stuff. I like Carols from the Kings on Christmas Eve. Does anybody watch that? Have you watched it? Did you watch it? Because this is going out Christmas Day. I decided to upload Christmas Day for you. A little treat, little Christmas treat. Because you don't, you know, 2 Ronnies aren't on anymore, are they? Morecambe and Wiser's not on anymore, so you might as well have me, haven't you? So within here we've got a charging cable. Everything comes with a USB-C charging cable these days, doesn't it? You don't need them. And then we've got the little plug-in bit. Let me take the controller out of the vacuum-formed debris. So you'll have instructions in the back, but basically it tells you to plug it in, hold your start button or your select button or whatever, and then it'll link up. Oh, this feels really nice already. So it feels more like a Saturn controller. So it's 6-button. And funnily enough, I've never owned a 6-button Mega Drive controller. I can buy Street Fighter now for the Mega Drive and play it properly. Oh, it feels so nice. That D button feels so nice. That D. Oh wow! And the shoulder. Why would it have shoulders? Bet you can use this on a Saturn. Can you? No, because you can't use it on a Saturn. And they have the little thing in debris that plugs into your thing. Because I'm sick as well of plugging in and unplugging my controllers all the time to my system, so I can just open it up. Oh yeah, get this charged up. That's stunning. Yeah, that's really nice in like a satin black. Really nice, and it basically echoes the 6-button controller. Lovely stuff, man. Little blue lights flashing because I pressed the start button. But we've got a start, a minus, and like a checker plate thing. I don't know what that is, but like a man, I'm not going to read the instructions. Oh, that feels nice. I'm going to really enjoy playing Shadow Dancer with that. Yeah, that's nice. And like I say, paid about 30 quid for that one as well. So you can get them cheaper, you can get them a bit expensive, but you know, hold out there. UK seller for that one and this one, and I paid about 30 quid for them. So yeah, that's really nice, that. And yeah, build quality and everything is way above what I thought. I've owned like cheap Chinese stuff and I've bought like, you know, third-party stuff in the past, but that feels so nice. Honestly, it sits in the hand. It sits in the hand, lovely that. And the material, the plastic feels really nice quality. I'm not, you know, plugging 8-bit do. But yeah, there's an 8-bit do because there's a little bit of a thingy above the O. Could be. Yeah. Awesome. And like I say, the Super Nintendo one made me buy that. I'm going to plug that in and charge it up. So I've got a USB-C over there near my lamp. And I shall put that there because I shall be plugging that in. I shall ignore the instructions because I'm a man. We don't do that. Yeah, awesome. So that's about it really. I have got loads of other shit I can show you. Loads of stuff's been happening in the background while I've been away. But as I've said before with these videos, I'll upload them as and when I've got something to say. So as we started, I'll end with a little bit of Christmas woe. Not Christmas woe. Just to wish you all the best. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed this year and has returned. Old subscribers and new. Especially the old subscribers, because you know I pissed you about so much over the years. You know, I've been around for a long time, you know me. I'm an old timer. Subs have been steady. Views have been awesome. You know, we're talking 1,000+ views on most videos I've done. Thank you so much for watching. For me, that's the main thing because, you know, it's a way of interacting with the community and with the wider world, really. YouTube, I've always said that, you know. It's a great way. Oh, I've got something else to show you. I forgot to show you them. It's a great way to interact with society. I don't think it should be your only interaction because that's dangerous. But yeah, I think for people that may have a bit of social anxiety, stuff like that, it's a good way in, especially this community, because we will just welcome anybody and everybody, don't we? You know what I mean, into this community. If you're not a grifter, not that I weigh in on any of that. There's far too many people talking about that, and I do agree with what most people are saying about the grift. And I don't weigh in on that at all. But yeah, I think. For me, it is a thing, and I just don't let it bother me these days. It used to, especially if someone projects themselves as a community player and then asks for money. That's a no. In fact, I unsubscribed to somebody this week from another hobby that I do. Somebody that I've watched for a long time, and I sent them a message saying, that's a real shame and a turn off for me and enough to make me unsub. Don't ask for money. You know, it's bullshit that you need money to do your hobby. You know, you wouldn't be doing your hobby if you didn't have the money to do it in the first place. You know, to turn your hobby into a job and an income, I don't know. I think that sucks the soul out of it, really. I think it's, you know, and again, there'll be a scale within that as well. Not all grifters are, I don't believe anyway, all grifters are purely grift. I think there's a grey area within it, like there is any scale, and some are on one side and some are at the other. Some are just pure shysters and fucking hoodwinking bastards that prey on weak minds and weak personalities and people that should really need support rather than preying on. But I do believe that there's the other side of the coin that I'm not saying I agree with it, because I don't. I never have. I've never asked for that. I've never asked for a sub. Never mind a Patreon or whatever. But it is a thing, and I think those that don't accept it should just do that. Just don't accept it. You know, unsub, don't watch, whatever. And those that do accept it and feel that it's part of something they want to do, and that's fine. You know, and like I say, I'm kind of on the fence, which might seem a little bit pussy, but you know. Fucking hell, lads! There's a lot in life to worry about rather than whether someone's earned 50p off someone this month. Whatever, you know. Anyway, that said, yeah. So I've just spied down here. I've found these online actually. Once I bought the C64, I was looking for Zap 64 magazines that I used to collect back in the day, and I come across these. This is a Fusion Retro publication. And there are quite a few of these, and I think they've stopped being produced now as well. But I believe these are by the original people, the editors. We've got managing editor is Chris Wilkins, art and illustration Oliver Fry. We've got Lloyd Morgan as one of the staff writers, copy editor, blah 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 blah. Guest Zap 64 writers. So I think this is by the guy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is by the guys that I've not got any Zap 64 magazines. But I saw these and I thought, oh, they might be nice, to read in the bath. And they're quite thick. There's a lot in here, and there's a lot of the new stuff that's been created for the systems in here as well. So I've bought issues 1 to 5. And they're little like is that A5 or A4? Can never know A5, and it's little A5 size. And yeah, it's the full colour. And there's game reviews and stuff like that in here, and everything from like the Zap. So you've still got the like fonts and stuff that they still did. That's Shadow over Hawks Mill. What we got here? Time I visited. Don't know what that is. I've still to read. Oh, explode! Where are they exploding first? Beachhead 2. So yeah, so there's some classic stuff in here, but I think also they do anything that might be new as well. For the. So it's basically a reboot of Zap 64, but in this sort of miniature compendium. They're not cheap either. They're £4 each. But yeah, I thought I'll buy 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Sorry. And the artwork and everything, it's very reminiscent. If that's not the same art guy, I'll be very surprised, because it's very reminiscent of of what we had back in the day. So I bought 5 of those, and I thought I'll read through those, and if they're any good, I'll go ahead and collect them. I think there's loads more, and they are available from their website or from eBay. I think I've been buying them for. I think if you buy more than one, there's like a discount thing, etc. But yeah, so that was March 2021, number 1. So I bought the first 5, and I'm expecting to have time this Christmas to sit down in here with a nice single malt scotch in front of a roaring fireplace, and and enjoy some Commodore 64 bullshit. And that's about it, really. So yeah, I'll be back in the new year. Don't know when. Work's a bit hectic, as I say. This is the Friday night before the week of Christmas. I've got Monday, Tuesday to work. They're giving us Christmas Eve off, which is really nice. Thank you, anybody watching. And and then I'm off until the 5th. Don't go back till the 5th. So nice long break. Really going to enjoy it, and I would expect everybody else to enjoy it as well. If you're not having such a good time, I sympathise. I empathise. I've been there. It's shit, but you will get through it. And for the rest of you, eat too much, drink too much, live well, and hug your loved ones. Give them a kiss from me, from Cojones del Oro, and we'll see you in the new year. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. All the best.